What's happening, YouTube? Welcome back. This is episode 9 in the GM to Top 500 series. This time I'm playing 4-player fixed cards with 2 beginners who are orange and yellow, as well as 1 intermediate who is blue. This gameplay was played on the advanced Rivertown map, which is essentially just a bigger version of the regular Rivertown map. I also decided to put on Fog of War just to make things a little bit more interesting and different from the usual. So if you've never played with Fog of War before, it basically is a system where you can only see the territories that are right next to yours and are bordering your own territories. All other territories are fogged out and they have a question mark symbol above them, indicating that you won't be able to see what's going on, like how many troops are on that territory, or even which player is controlling that territory. How do you make sense of what's going on in this foggy, dark world? Well, there's kind of 2 different ways to approach it. The first way, the easier way, is if you're playing with alliances on, then if you make an alliance with one of your opponents, you automatically see everything that they are holding. So basically you expand your vision to see everything that you're holding, but also everything that your ally is holding. The second method of figuring out what's going on is you need to make sure that you pay close attention to how many troops each player is getting, because you don't know exactly where they are, but you can have a general idea just by seeing what little territories that you can of your opponents. But besides that, the best way to figure out where exactly they are and to get a general idea of how many troops they have is by paying attention to their troop bonuses, and then trying to figure out which continents they're holding based on that and how many territories they have. So as you can see, even though I don't know where the blue player is exactly, I know that blue and orange are currently in the midst of a battle, because before this turn, orange was getting 8 troops per turn, or even more, since he had captured a couple of regions. But on that turn, you saw he only got 5 troops. And as you can see, orange and blue are going back and forth. Even though I don't know exactly how many troops blue and orange have lost, I know that they're fighting for the top 3 regions on the left-hand side of the map, based on how many troops they're getting each turn. And while I don't know exactly how many troops they're using to fight with each other, I can still see the animation of when they're attacking on the border between the 2 continents. And as you can see on that turn, the blue player got 14 troops. So it looks like the blue player is going to come out on top against orange in this battle. As you can see, he's already taken down those 4 troops, and he's taken out a couple of those continents, and it looks like he's already captured one of those continents. And as we can see on the bottom left, he's actually captured, it looks like, all of those regions. And yes, that's confirmation, because the orange player only got 3 troops that turn, which means he's lost all of his continents, all of those regions that he was previously holding. And he decided to put his troops right next to me, which means that those are probably all of the troops that he has left remaining. So now that you know some basic tips on how to play with Fog of War on any map, I will try to explain what I believe is by far the best strategy on the Rivertown Advanced map. I will be calling the strategy the bridge strategy, and you'll see why. So basically, the bridge strategy is where you capture either the left side or the right side of the map, and then you put your entire army on one of the territories on the bridge region, so that you're holding the entire one half of the map with only one border. The strategy is really good because you can actually get over 20 troops per turn and only have to guard one border. That's basically the equivalent of holding North America, South America, Africa, and Europe. But the catch is you only have to hold one border instead of holding 3 borders. So it's even more overpowered than the 4 continents strategy that you can use on the classic map. Currently, the blue player is really close to executing the bridge strategy on the western half of the map. All he needs to do is capture that one territory of yellow, and then he will have the entire left-hand side of the map. And if blue is able to successfully hold all of those territories for even 1 or 2 turns, he's going to definitely be able to win this game, because he's going to get at least 20 troops per turn, while the rest of us are not going to get nearly enough troops to deal with him. Unless yellow and I work together to actually team up against the blue player. And that's exactly what I try to do by sending that attack request to yellow. Fortunately for me, he actually does attack blue, but the blitz roll doesn't go in his favor, so he wasn't able to break through. I decided not to go through yellow into blue because my army wasn't big enough. In addition, I didn't want to make it look like I was attacking yellow by going through yellow's continents. So now that blue has invaded yellow, I can go and attack blue without having to fear having to invade yellow. So yellow once again tries to come back, and he actually gets a set, so that's fortunate for us, because he was able to actually break through blue's continents and invade a couple of those. So on my turn, I decided to actually try to take out the orange player and get his cards so that I can turn in a set, because it's not necessary for me or anyone to keep the orange player in the game, being that he's the weakest player and I can actually just take his cards. And this is good because I'm trying to expand and take more territory so that I can try to balance out the blue player, which is why I specifically am trying to single out blue territories and make sure that he doesn't overwhelm us. However, the blue player is actually extremely close to winning this game. He just needs to hold all of those continents on the left side of the map for just one more turn, and he's golden. He can win this game. The yellow player is almost dead from attacking blue every single turn that he did. But fortunately for us, I do have a set on 4, so I can try to invade the blue player, as well as capture a continent along the way. So it's going to come down to these blitz rolls, and if I don't win this, the blue player is going to win the game. So the blitz rolls are going, and they're going in my favor for the most part, but if I want to put a dent in blue and actually have any hopes of coming back, I need to win this attack. So there goes 2 more troops from me, 1 and 1 apiece, and that's when I decided to blitz blue. At this point in the game, I thought the game was pretty much over because blue has just received 22 troops, and all he needs to do is put his troops down and invade all of my regions as well as yellow's regions, and then fortify his troops back to the bridge so that he can once again try to hold all of his continents using the bridge strategy. And essentially, if he's able to successfully hold that for one more turn, then he's going to win. But to my surprise and relief, the blue player actually didn't do anything that turn, and he actually went inactive, because when I was checking his player card, it said this player is offline, which means he either quit out of the game, which would be really nice, or he just disconnected, or he left his device. But whatever the case was, this is really good for Yellow and I, because I was able to invade all of Blue's continents, making it such that Yellow and I have a fighting chance at winning this game. So Yellow just received 14 troops on his turn, and if he wanted to, he could just blitz my army and just invade all of my continents, because he just saw the blue player quit out of the game, and now it was just me versus him from his perspective. But it turns out that on the same turn that blue quit out of the game, or just went offline, the yellow player also went inactive, and he just captured one territory before going offline, which was really surprising. And it actually made it so that I could break through all of his continents and get a huge advantage over yellow and also blue. But what I wasn't expecting was the blue player came back to the game from out of nowhere. He just popped out. I wasn't expecting that at all. So I think he was playing imposter. He was faking being offline this whole time, so that once I and yellow started fighting each other, he could come back and get a hold of the situation. So what's even worse about the situation with yellow going offline and blue coming out of nowhere is yellow is blocking me from attacking blue. But out of nowhere, yellow's bot actually went and suicided on blue, turning the luck in my favor and giving me the opportunity to actually execute the bridge strategy, this time from the eastern half of the map. So this is what I mean by the bridge strategy. After taking out yellow, I went straightly and invaded blue before blocking myself from attacking the blue player anywhere. And then that's when I fortified all of my troops on the bridge territory, making it so that blue has no chances of invading me. What blue needed to do in this situation was he definitely needed to at least try to invade me into my continents, because now it's just total loss for blue, as I was able to hold all of those regions and gain like more than 20 troops, as well as turning in a set of cards. So it's game over for blue. That game was pretty insane. It had a lot of unexpected moments and back and forth going on, and disconnections and coming back from players. But in the end, the strategy to help me win this game was the bridge strategy, as it allowed me to come back in a losing situation. At one point, I thought that game was completely over for me, but being able to hold all of those regions and only having to guard it with one border was extremely powerful. And this is by far the best strategy that you can use on the advanced Rivertown map, as well as the regular Rivertown map. Let me know in the comments section down below what you thought of this, and if I should try playing other maps, different maps other than Classic, and different settings other than the regular settings. Thanks for watching.